basically racial. It is not a black versus Hispanic versus white situation, for example. And really what divides them is the 6-point star of the folks and the 5-point star of the people. The one folding their right arm over their left, the other the other way around.
Jack had a groove, and from this groove came the grooves of all grooves. And while one day viciously throwing down on his box, Jack boldly declared, "Let there be house," and house music was born. I am, you see, I am the creator.
You're gonna have to say that I am a proletarian. I am the people. I'm not the big. You got to make a distinction. And the people are going to have to attack the big. The people are going to have to stand up against the big. That's what the bastards are doing. That's what the bastards are doing all over the world. Are y'all ready to get down?
We are the members of this posse. We're here to house it up and check your body. We'll make you move, make the groove, make a jack to this track. We'll pump you up, pump you down, pump you all around to this new house sound. We bring the house the way you want it. So move your body, don't try to front it. This is the groove that makes you move, push you in a trance when you dance all night long to our song without no slack. We'll make you jack.
Wanna dance?
Certainly. Are y'all ready to get down?
Moving your body to the beat, you have to move the beat. It sounds so unique. Get out of your seat. Can you feel the heat? Moving inside your soul, making you lose control. Even though your mind said no, but if you're having a good time, now everyone out there, don't stare. Just raise your hands high in the air, waving like you just don't care and scream. D-A-P-O-S-S-E, that's who we'll be, and we'll rock you, we'll shock you, with samples, example, with the music flow. And if you're out there pumping, let me hear you say, yo, yo, we're out of here.
Not a coffin, not a motel, not a holiday.
The history of Chicago has many stories. Apart from many stories, Chicago also has many beginnings. The area as we know it now, Chicago, did not begin with one event marking the beginning of the city. The Battle of Fort Dearborn, or the Dearborn Massacre in 1812, was only a pivotal moment in the development of this Midwestern city, marking a significant event shaping the history of not only Chicago, but the rest of the country as well as the rest of the world. So in order to understand those many beginnings we speak of, we must go back in time to recount the events leading up to the present day to give a sense of depth in the history of the city.
Let's go back in time. Way back into time.
We will skip the 4.6 billion year process in which it took to get to our present and recent time. One of Chicago's many beginnings would take place around the time towards the end of the Ice Age, eventually causing the ice to deglaciate, forming what we now know as the Great Lakes. It is estimated and theorized around 15,000 years ago, approximately in and around the year 13,000 BC. In this era of history, the Chicagoland area is covered by the Wisconsin Glacier. It is theorized by geologists that the frozen walls of ice would have towered 4 to 5 times higher than any skyscraper in present-day Chicago. As the Wisconsin Glacier proceeded further into Illinois, it ends up blocking out the ancient Mississippi River, forcing the river stream to reroute its flow and pour more west of Illinois, where the Mississippi continues to flow to this day. The start of a warming period takes its toll on the northern hemisphere of the planet, causing the glaciers to retreat and melt slowly throughout the next 3,000 years. It is now around 10,000 BC, approximately 12,000 years ago from today. As the ice retreats and melts, it would reveal the land and its geographic terrain, also trapping melted glacier water, forming what would become known as Lake Chicago, a deeper and larger lake than present-day Lake Michigan. As the ice retreats, forests grow. Animals step on this land for the first time in thousands of years, and so do the Native American populations, which follow the large game. All the way from the Central Plains, east across the Mississippi River, and into the Chicago locale. 10,500 years ago, Lake Chicago was a larger and deeper lake than present-day Lake Michigan. Due to residual glacier melting, water eventually pushes access and flows into surrounding lakes and rivers, even overflowing the Des Plaines River. But it would take another 6,000 to 7,000 years to form and define the shores we know and recognize today. 6,975 BC, 9,000 years ago, Arctic climates prevail and coniferous forests slowly overrun the tundra. Moose, caribou, and musk ox are the likely local inhabitants. It is around this time that the influx of Native American tribes continue to migrate into the new interior revealed by the glaciers. It is the time of the Illinois River Valley Native Americans. In about the next 1,000 years, Native American presence is well established in southwestern Illinois at the Modoc Rock Shelter and elsewhere. 1978 BC, 4,000 years ago. Lake Chicago's water level temporarily drops to 480 feet. Lake Calumet forms from Calumet Bay. It dried, and then it reforms as water rises again as the last of the Wisconsin Glacier melts, finally forming Lake Chicago's water level of 580 feet as we know it today. Local forests begin to produce more diverse types of trees, from balsam fir trees to spruce trees, oak trees to hickory trees. As tribes all along the Mississippi flourish, it slowly develops a strong population around the Illinois River Valley, due to an abundance in resources gained in its rivers and on land. It is the time of the mound builders. Around the year 1000 to 1050, the Mississippi culture is flourishing. Out of all the surrounding tribes and villages of the Mississippi River and beyond, a city is thriving like no other of its time. Located at the edge of present-day Illinois, 20,000 farmers, hunters, fishermen, shaman are prospering in this city. This city is known in the history pages as Cahokia, the city of the sun. Just 4 hours and 42 minutes from present-day Chicago, Monk's Mound stands as a testament of what once was. With the people carrying the baskets of earth for years, it is believed that the foundations of the city took 50 to 55 years to build. The base of Cahokia Mound is larger than any of the bases for the pyramids in Egypt. Cahokia's culture of mound builders stretches from present-day Moundville, Alabama, to the Great Serpent Mound 50 miles east from present-day Cincinnati, Ohio. With the Mississippi and the other major rivers as its highways, Cahokia was linked by trade to 1/3 of the continent. Gold and silver from the rivers connected to Canada. Mica and crystal from the rivers connected to the Appalachians. Obsidian came in from the rivers to Yellowstone. Copper arrived from the Great Lakes. And shell from the Gulf of Mexico. This was Cahokia. Even Chicago was the site of the Lizard Mound. Chicago was also used as a resource. Eventually, tribesmen who traveled the rivers figured out that the shortest route to Lake Michigan was through the Illinois River up through the Des Plaines River, ending in a marshy height of land that in high water times one could canoe right through a portage. Cahokia would prosper and flourish up until the 1300s, when ultimately, for unknown reasons to history, Cahokia was abandoned. The mound-building culture had spread and woven its customs of many tribes, born and unborn. Tribes all over the continents of North and South America experience similar lifestyles as they prosper and propagate throughout the landscape. Another of the many beginnings would take place with the arrival of Europeans. 1492 marking the year of contact between Native American peoples and the Europeans. Christopher Columbus landed on the island of Guanahani inhabited by the Arawak. He christened the island San Salvador, where soon he discovered gold among the natives.
¿Dónde has encontrado esto?
As Columbus sets out looking for gold, he is forced to land and repair at an island he names Hispaniola, inhabited by the Taino of the Arawak. After replenishing, he returns to Spain with news of the New World, and in 1493, Christopher Columbus returned to Hispaniola with 17 ships, 1,200 men, and with one intention: to subdue and dominate the Arawak peoples under the Castilian-Spanish crown and convert them to the Christian religion. A brutal campaign is unleashed on the Taínos, enslaving them to mine gold. Many women, men, children are tortured and murdered at the hands of Columbus, his mercenaries, and attack dogs. On June 7, 1494, the Treaty of Tordesillas is signed by Castile and Portugal, sanctioned by Pope Alexander Sixtus, a meridian line that divides the territories of the New World for both Castile and Portugal. By 1500, Pedro Alvarez Cabral lands and lays claims to their side of the meridian line. As for the Spaniards, They waste no time in claiming their new prize, carving a path of destruction. Majority of the Arawak Caribbean tribes are decimated and exterminated. Their lands conquered, colonized, and annexed by Spain. By 1519, Hernán Cortés arrives to what is now present-day Mexico in search for gold and glory. He quickly allies with the Tlaxcala Native Americans as they plead for backup against the Aztec Empire ruled by the Mexica. By 1521, Cortés's campaign turns out in his favor, as diseases such as smallpox brought by the Europeans wreak havoc on the Native American populations. Many warriors die, leaving the Aztec Empire for the taking. The Spaniards continued their campaigns of conquest, expanding further into their new conquered territories. These territories would also be part of New Spain. Although the Spaniards brought with them the first Africans, it is the Portuguese who initiate the first recorded official slave trade voyage. In 1532, the Battle of Cajamarca, a group of Spaniards under Francisco Pizarro and their native allies ambushed and captured Emperor Atahualpa. It was the first step in a long campaign that took decades of fighting to subdue the Incas. On April 20th, 1534, Jacques Cartier set sail under a commission from the King of France, Francis I, after hearing of lands plentiful in gold. They sail across the ocean, taking 20 days to arrive. He explores part of Newfoundland, the Gulf of Saint Laurent, and Bay de Gaspé. The Europeans dub it the Northwest Passage. Cartier encounters the Micmac tribe on 2 separate occasions, but with failed attempts to establish communication. His third encounter took place on the shores of Gaspé Bay with the Haudenosaunee, or the Iroquois of the St. Lawrence. It is here where he met Chief Donnacona of the village of Stadacona. By July 24th, Cartier erected a 10-meter cross bearing the words "Vive le Roi de France," long live the King of France, claiming possession of the territory. The change in mood was a clear indication that Donnacona understood Cartier's actions. Chief Donnacona approached Cartier's boat and made hand gestures in protest. Cartier forced permission to take 2 of Donnacona's sons, Domagaya and Tagnoagno, promising to bring them back. Cartier left Bay of Gaspé on July 25th with the 2 sons, who would come back as French interpreters.
They mark their territory with bold symbols. They defend it with violence.
And rolls along the L tracks above 63rd Street. This is the heart of Woodlawn on Chicago's South Side. In this sprawling black neighborhood, street gangs have developed into a powerful force. These are the Blackstone Rangers with their red berets.
Bobo on the street. Officials charge he made a bundle selling heroin smuggled into Chicago through a Nigerian connection to Thailand.
At the Cabrini Green Housing Project, bullet scars are badges of honor.
92.
But only if a gang member can walk away.
93. 94 in the foot. Peace out.
Officer Eric Davis has worked to bring peace between the vice lords and the gangster disciples.
leadership. Like we have people that wants to be like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and these people getting over it, like they make it. They are doing a nice thing for the ghettos. And then we have those that wants to be like Al Capone.